Uncouth Radio, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot going on in the world in general. First off, I just want to start out and send condolences to the family of Chadwick Boseman and say rest in peace to a true king. We lost the Black Panther. And I just wanted to take a moment to talk about him and what he meant for the culture, not only as Black Panther, but just as an actor overall and all the icons that he took on. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he was able to play Black Panther was to me Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall. Like he took on, and James Brown. He took on some giants. Brown. Yeah, he took on some giants, man. So, excuse me. I just want to take this moment to say, hey, man, we appreciate you. And I was so shocked when that came across my news feed. I was so shocked, but it's crazy because when I was watching him on the shop, and I had told Angela, I was like, "Damn, dude, he lost a lot of weight." I was like, "He look a little sick," and she's like, "Yeah, his skin looked kind of bad." And you know, when you do chemo, it like dries your skin out real bad. Mm-hmm. But I had no clue that's what it was, you know, and that's why. And when he did that Jackie Robinson Day, and people was like going in making jokes about him, I was like, I was not with that at all. Even when it was happening, I was like, I think I deleted it out the group when somebody had posted it. You know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, nah,
not appropriate.
It just didn't. You know, I just thought it was disingenuous, just in general, like not knowing what was going on or if he was sick or whatever.
Because when it was posted, me and Quincy was just like, either he's really sick or he's getting ready for a role. Like he's waiting for a role.
I thought he was preparing
for a role. But you know, looking back at a lot of his interviews, he looked very tired.
Yeah,
I was thinking he was sad, but he looked really tired. You could see that he was very tired, and he really pushed himself. And I think that we know, and we just talked about a few of the things that we saw him in, and how just for one person in such a short period of time in his career to play those iconic roles. But you know, we know that Black Panther, that movie did something for Black people. I think it just gave us that feeling of like unity, of collectivity that we didn't have, collectiveness, of like family connection to like Africa. Just even though it was a superhero movie, it was just something that kind of empowered us. Everything, it just seeing like rich Black people, just seeing him with the likes of, you know, as comparing him to how we were looking at Iron Man, this rich country, it just was very rich. It was very uplifting. And
that's all I was gonna say. Like,
so many
representation really matters.
Kids, like, they had superheroes that look like them.
Yeah, because we never think about it when we was kids. Like literally, we was looking at the damn Dukes of Hazzard, two white men in a General Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like we looking at two white men in a General Lee. We looking at Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, like all the people we would want to be for Halloween, Superman, and all that, Batman. None of them look like us. Like,
this is not going to be a surprise, but Dan, you probably remember this cartoon. Remember the cartoon Cops?
Yeah.
And the Black dude, the chief, Bulletproof. He was the only he was the one Black dude cartoon superhero that I had. With and it was a different cops with like special powers and shit.
I'm gonna tell you the one I thought Panthro was black, so I made Panthro black when I was a kid.
I did too. A lot of us, we just made certain people black. I think that's why if you growing up, a lot of Black people, a lot of Black kids, we went with Batman because we could put on Batman outfit and we won't. It didn't come with a certain look like Superman or some shit,
right?
So we went. A lot of us went with Batman and things like that. But I think for me, I mean, it took me. I was shocked because I mean, it's just damn man. This year has been crazy, and a realization like these people are our age.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
And it's like they're dying with, and when I say that, I'm thinking about him and Kobe. Like they're passing with, and we thinking they have so much
time left,
time to offer, and I think that although Jackie Robinson and all the other great black heroes, I mean that he portrayed, but it made me think about like Black Panther did something special because look where we come from, where in the 70s all they really had was pimps and and roots.
Yeah.
Pimps and roots.
Yeah.
Was what we had as far as representation.
A mammy or a maid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only it did something, not only the movie Black Panther did, I mean, it had these powerful black women who wasn't, that was strong and independent in their own, and what the Black Panther movie just represented. It to me, it gave us, like, although it is a cartoon, it let us know what we can be. Right. I was looking at what's his name, the singer Akon.
Yeah,
his city. I was like, that shit kind of like Wakanda to me.
That's what he's modeling it after.
And so it's good. I mean, I feel bad because our kid, like my kid Isaiah, he was like distraught because to them this is like Black Panther. Like
that's their hero. Yeah.
To a lot of black kids, and they not knowing we didn't have nobody like that. So it is really taking a toll. I don't ever want to. I know a lot of people want all these little storylines. Look, Lee, to me, he the only person that should be playing Black Panther.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we know that they tried a lot to kind of go along the lines of the cartoon. So not without spoiling it for anybody. I mean, the comic book, so I won't spoil it or say anything, but there's definitely a way that they can do it and stay true to the cartoon, the comic book.
You ain't spoiling people.
Yeah, with his sister.
Should know.
Well, some people, I was on the post and some people didn't know, so I didn't want to say it. But I've heard like, bring Killmonger back and make him good with the Infinity Stone. Like, we don't need to do all that. Let's just stay true. Let him
rest in peace.
Well,
so I will say this. I would like to see Shuri do it because I think it would be dope. And I just thought Shuri was the dopest Disney princess of all time.
I think she would be dope.
Anyway, and I've been saying that anyway. But there is a storyline in one of the comics where Lupita Nyong'o's character turns bad. She turns into Malice, and she resurrects Killmonger and makes him Black Panther. So there is that story out there as well too, if you wanted to follow the comics.
Yeah, well you know what? The thing is, I don't mind that, but as far as what's the name, T'Challa.
Yeah, I don't want no other T'Challa.
I don't want nobody else to play him.
Let's just do another complete storyline.
I don't want to see what's his name, Lance Gross.
I saw Artemis say, I'm like, nah, bro.
Terrence Howard.
Hey, what's up, man?
Look here,
Black Panther, man.
I don't want to
man.
Here's my take. I hear what you guys are saying. At the same time, I think there is a need for T'Challa because looking at the characters of Marvel, T'Challa is the main black male. To then suddenly, eliminate that character, you're actually taking away a major black figure from the MCU.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is because like it's one of those things that he played that character so well, he embodied T'Challa so well. I just don't know who I could see. Like, not even if not that I don't think there's any other actors that could pull it off. It's just will the public accept another T'Challa?
Yeah. You guys remember that show? Bewitched? Did anybody watch that show?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys know that the guy who played Darren, he like randomly stopped playing him, and they brought in another guy to play. Nobody knew. Everybody thought it was the same Darren.
I knew that second Darren was.
They just banned bringing no light skinned dude. No light skinned dude.
Here's the one thing I will. Chandra, you're absolutely right, but I have a certain faith in Marvel and how they've been doing their casting. When Heath Ledger passed away, like we were all like anyone that was a comic book head, we were all kind of distraught. Then we saw that idiot that they brought in to play the Joker. Then they went back to someone that actually could play the Joker, where you're looking at the character again. I think Rigo does have a plan. Again, it's not something in which we're gonna all get behind, but as we get closer and we understand what the story is and we see that individual's acting chops, I think we will come to embrace that person. Now, Dame, I am 100% with you where there's a part of me does not want anyone to replace Chadwick. I also have to look at it from an MCU perspective where it's like I definitely want a Black Panther character in the MCU, especially with the direction in which
that's what I'm saying.
going.
But I'm saying like what Quincy said. I want a Black Panther character. I just don't know if I want T'Challa, like another T'Challa. Like you know what I'm saying? Because there were other iterations of Black Panther. I probably just wouldn't want somebody else to come in and try to be that. Yeah.
Did he have a child? Did he have a son?
Yeah, him and Storm.
But the thing is, they were going to introduce Storm.
Yeah, I know that was supposed to be in the next one. That was supposed to be in part 2.
I'm sure they knew he had an illness. You know, I mean,
because
I'm sure they knew about
this. They kept pushing back the production.
Right. They knew.
Well, the thing is, like with the Joker, we've seen other people play the Joker and do like a pretty damn good job.
Shit, almost all of them been good.
Yeah. Nobody really done.
I felt like that after Jack Nicholson. Honestly, I was like, who else is going to be a better Joker than Jack Nicholson?
Right.
And then Heath Ledger came along and did his own thing, and it was equally dope.
Yeah,
but
different, but dope.
For those type of movies, it's to me they're more like standalone. They're not like continuous. With this, we're kind of looking at something that's more continuous. Because I agree with what you're saying. Even with Batman is like, okay, we got a couple
different trilogies. You got different trilogies that ain't connected at all.
Right. So this is more like a continuity situation where, you know, I know Marvel's going to write it brilliantly, but it's not where like, okay, it's just a whole different Black Panther and we're not, you know, we're done with that.
To me, it's different. I mean, because they brought Don Cheadle in for Terrence Howard character.
Yeah.
Right? So
everybody was happy.
But everybody.
Because I mean, look, we can only hear Maine so much, but we wasn't like hear it for like 10
Come
movies.
on, Iron Man. He was called him Iron Man.
Trying really hard to sound articulate is either look here, man.
What's up, Thanos, man?
I'm really trying to say.
Listen, Thanos, man, we ain't.
They said Jamal said reports say Marvel execs didn't know. He didn't tell anyone. He thought he'd recover and shoot the next film as recently as a week ago. Damn, that's crazy.
People were saying I didn't know. Like people were saying that. Like people working with him. So that doesn't surprise me because nobody knew. So.
No, I'm not questioning that some executives didn't know, but the movie itself was pushed back a numerous amount of times, even before COVID. That I do know for sure. So that leads me to believe that there may have been someone in the inner works that knew that something was going. That was something.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, probably.
I have no doubt the executives knew.
To be honest, I still haven't accepted nobody else being Superman except Chris Reeves.
But you know what? Wait a minute. Can I talk about what kind of a jerk I am? Because I remember being like, that was when I just got to Washington when that happened. I'm like, how's Superman gonna get paralyzed? Like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga's supposed to be.
But because that's what I'm saying. But that's how real these heroes really be to us. You know what I mean? But that's why I think T'Challa and Black Panther and Chadwick was so important, though, because the way we feel and the way we connect to these characters, and it was dope to have us be able to connect to a comic character like T'Challa, because that's like literally the perfect Black character to have his first standalone movie, like somebody who.
But
you know what I mean?
I think the script will Killmonger because Killmonger ended up being a fan favorite anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
That last line.
And I also think that it would mean something to Michael B. Jordan to come in and fulfill those shoes because shit, you know.
Well, yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's why I think if they're gonna do it smart, and I can see him returning in some type of manner that is going to just get everyone, you know, riled up, like, oh shit, look how he came back, da 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 da. Like I'm expecting something. Wait, is my connection okay? Or
No, you good.
Yeah, you good. You good.
But I expect it. And to add on to what you were saying earlier, Dame, as far as the monumental of the movie, I think we've all known the power of Black economics, but I think this movie on the grand scale in the month of February, for what it did, there was no disputing what was going on. The other thing is health. A lot of us are at that age now where we really need to go through those, those screenings, those colon cancer screenings and whatnot, because to hear that was something that he, that was affecting him at such an early age, like that's a reality check for us that we have to really, take some type of onus on.
Yeah, that's one of
somebody typing their ass off.
Is it me?
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
Whoever it was.
Yeah, that's one of those cancers that is high at regarding black
death rate, and has a high death rate too.
Yeah, with especially black men.
Correct. But they said certain insurance companies don't allow you to get a check until a certain age. So I think you'd have to just take it upon yourself to do it.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing is because I think you can't really get checked till 43. So if he would have waited, he would have missed. He would have even missed. You know what I mean? The screen, because they say I think it's 43, 44 is when you can first get tested under your insurance. So yeah, you might have to go do it on your own volition. But once again, just want to say R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman, and our thoughts and prayers are with your family. Wakanda forever.
He did his job while he was here, though. He did some very inspirational roles.
Absolutely.
He got his legacy is intact.
Someone said it best that he was ours and he wanted to be ours.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Unlike Terry Crews. Unlike Dana.
Bro, that nigga want to forget it.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. He want to be his, the one that grabbed him.
So look, I want to talk about something that I know we've all been talking about amongst each other lately. It's just the amount of misinformation that is going out, and I feel like the amount of misinformation that is going out directly to Black people at this moment. We have to do better at vetting our information. We have to do better at not taking history lessons from a meme. We have to do better at, if a meme says something, it don't take nothing but 2 seconds to Google it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Chan disappeared.
Yeah, Chan disappeared.
She dropped off.
Everybody dropping off today.
I agree with you. But Dane, what's even worse with misinformation is it goes further than social media. We have misinformation in our school books.
Oh, absolutely.
We got misinformation. Just this country was built on misinformation.
Oh, I'll take it even further. I'll take it even further. The fact that we don't ask questions.
Right. Listen. Well, not even that we don't want to ask questions. We don't want to ask questions. Also, when presented with new and truthful information, we still don't want to accept it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
update our thinking.
Yeah, because this is what I've been dealing with a lot. I've been dealing. Look, I'll tell people, if you have a problem with Joe Biden's record and Kamala's record, that's fine. But make sure that your problems with their record are based in truth. And some of the shit that I've been seeing has been so outlandishly false and wrong. But I've been seeing the outlandishly false wrong shit get passed around so much more than anything that's true. Like so quickly. And what makes it even crazier is the truth of what the orange donkey is doing right now is so much worse than the shit that they sharing. And nobody's talking about the shit that he's doing and saying in this moment because we're too busy over here trying to share this false information about Biden and Kamala. And listen, like I said, there are a bunch of issues to have with the Democrats. There are a bunch of issues to be had with their records. I'm fine with that. But make sure that your information and the things that you have issues with are just real and true. Because even when I come on and I say, hey, yo, that like I done got cussed out so many times just saying this not true. Here are the some stuff, not only is it not true, but some stuff it'll sound like it's true if you don't have the nuance and the context of what it is. So I'm like just trying to offer the context and nuance, and people like look, like one chick told me the other day, she said research deeper. And I said, okay, cool. Like, can you show me where to research? And she said, well, I know it's true because this is what me and my brothers went through. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, like Charlamagne says, Dame, the lie is more interesting than the truth. People would rather run with the lie. And then also they tell you the truth hurts. You know, a lot of people just don't want to face the facts. And so when presented with the truth, it's easier just to accept the lie. You know?
Yeah. So it's so crazy to me. Like, why are you saying like, you know, Kamala hates black people and Biden was saying nigga in the press conference and all this shit, and Biden fell asleep in the interview. Like
at this point, I don't even care if Biden could call 5 people a nigga. I would still vote for him.
Now we sounding like Trump supporters. No.
Let me finish my sentence before you pass judgment on my sentiments, Ronald.
No.
Call that nigga Ronald.
My government name. You know, the feds may be looking for me. Girl, you know the feds be watching this. No, but I feel you though.
No. Like I said, he would have to do so much to make me pick Trump over him. Like, I don't even want to discuss anything that he's done. He would have to do everything.
The thing is, what's scary, they show 3 clips where Trump people have edited this shit. See, now with all this technology,
yeah,
you really gotta be careful because they could put motherfuckers' faces on people, all type of things, and they show that the clip where Biden is supposed to be sleeping, that's actually a Harry Belafonte interview.
Yeah,
where he was meditating.
Right.
Where he was meditating.
That's
so now with technology, you really got to be really sharp on your shit and research a little deeper, and just don't take stuff, on surface. And then with some of the conversations I'm hearing from people,
but isn't it what you say, Q? It's confirmation bias.
Yeah.
People just want to hear what they want to hear. It doesn't matter what the truth is, you know.
Biden's bad. On Facebook, that they will funnel things to your timeline according to whatever those beliefs are, to reinforce whatever they want you to think.
I trust Twitter more than Facebook.
Right.
Certain people on Twitter.
Well, you got a lot of black people who feel they're gonna vote for Trump because he sent them a check
with his name on it.
And I've heard, like, that's what I'm saying. I know it sounds outlandish, but these are things that I've literally heard and I'm literally hearing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like the other day, Trump said, and I didn't see this travel in our circle the way I've seen Kamala Harris and Biden want to abort kids at 9 months. I've been seeing that travel, but I didn't see when Trump actually said bad shootings with black people is kind of like a bad putt in a golf course. Like, it's high pressure and you have a bad putt. You get under pressure and you choke. You choke. You're gonna choke sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna choke, just like golf.
Yeah,
that should have been bigger news to me than all this fake news being passed around. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's kind of maddening to watch us tear shit down that's not even real and go in and have all these philosophical conversations about not true information while we're totally ignoring the true and real shit that's happening over here on the other side because we so badly want to say Trump and Biden are the same. Because that's the conversation that I'm getting. You know, Trump and Biden are the same.
And like,
well, one's covert and one's overt. You know what I mean?
Like I was telling, at first I wasn't going to say anything because the conversation was so bad. But then I was like, I would be wrong to allow them to just walk out of here with this misinformation. So when the guys was talking about that they voted for Trump because he sent them a check, I had to break down, like, first of all, that shit didn't come from Trump's bank account.
Came from your shit.
like they act like Trump went into his bank account and sent them $1,200. I was like, no,
Trump Towers. That was residual from Trump Towers.
So now, I found myself in a situation where I had to educate people and let them know, like, actually, like, this is what you pay your taxes for. For when shit like this happen, you're supposed to be rewarded back when we're in the middle of a pandemic because you pay all your taxes throughout that time.
Correct.
And then I explained to them like how like a president can't give nobody shit without a Congress and a Senate passing it. So I say he got to get approved to get money. So this not like this was just, you know, I said this actually wasn't Trump's idea because he wasn't rolling with the shit at first until he saw his approvals rating dropping because of Corona.
Yeah.
So
it was a reaction, not like for being proactive.
Yeah. So I definitely check your information because, you know, people can easily put bullshit on a meme and there it go.
And I'm talking about that shit rolls fast. But let me ask you this, Quincy, because I know Ice Cube put out another video this week. Can you talk to me about what that video was and you know and what you think about what he said in the video?
Well, the reason why he did it because folks was asking him. Well, when he came down on the Democrats after their convention, folks was like, and I wish they didn't say shit just to see who really do it. But a lot of folks was like, well, I hope you do this next week after the Republican convention. That's why he didn't really have a lot of shit to say regarding the RNC. Like, look, I think Ice Cube mean well, you know, but I think from his position, he have to look at what he's leading people who don't have his financial means into, you know, and when he makes the statement like, you know what, yeah, I don't be scared, there's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, it does. You have Donald Trump is in court right now trying to take Obamacare away in the middle of a pandemic, knowing that the majority of black people gonna suffer if that happens.
Yep.
So you can't tell people don't be scared or this not a big deal. It's just about, and see, we have to get out this one track mind. Like, okay, if you give us this issue, then we're gonna vote for you. Like we can't be so locked in on one issue to not look at other domino effects that if this person get elected, A, B, and C, and D is gonna happen. And I just think that, you know, just go back to, like, I think Ice Cube mean well, but I think where he's pushing, he should have pushed in the primary. And like I said before, I would have loved to see 30 Democrats have to debate over a black contract, a black contract. That would have been great to see. But right now, with what he's doing, I think it's dangerous because there's a lot at stake. When people, I know before folks are you know, they think you're just being dramatic or whatever. Like a big part why Trump really don't give a fuck about Corona is because it's not really killing his people off like that. so you know, I just think that, you know, he gave a critique on the RNC. It wasn't pretty. He didn't go in any detail. I just think he just did it because people wanted him to do one after what he said about Democrats. But to me, I think the thing that Ice Cube have to get that I don't think he understand yet is Trump doesn't give a fuck about his vote. Like he keep on saying, you know, well, you know, if they gonna come to the table, you know, if Donald Trump and them want to hear what we got to say or, you know, whatever, dude, they don't care. I don't think Cube don't realize Trump does not need the black vote to win. He just needs you not to vote.
Yeah.
And that's just it. So, but for every Ice Cube, there's a LeBron James. And we got a couple more people that's out there trying to really get the message out to people. And so,
speaking of LeBron James, shout out to the NBA for coming together and standing up. Like that was really beautiful.
Yeah, I think we're going to get into that at some point.
Yeah, we are. But before we get to that too, I wanted to ask y'all, what do y'all think of the notion? And I know this goes just to show what we already know about this country. What do you think about the notion that the more Trump pushes racism, the more Trump pushes pushes this police blue line that his approval rating and his poll numbers are going up.
I think the poll numbers are a lie.
It reflects what this country is.
Justification to make us believe that that's what's happening. I don't think any of those poll numbers are really going up. The more people, I mean, you do have some evil folks here. I still think that they account for maybe about 30% of our entire population. I think you have people who are in the middle or didn't care, who are seeing footage of us being murdered, who are really coming to like, oh my gosh, I really didn't realize that this is what you guys were going to. I think if anything, his approval ratings are going down, and these polls, because if you think about it, there are 6 of us. When have any of you ever been polled? Like ever in life? Who the fuck are they polling? Excuse my language.
Well, it did. His actually Biden's favorable went up and Trump's unfavorable went down. But the concern is that a lot of people feel that Trump will be stricter against crime, and that's why he's pushing that law and order shit,
aka against black people.
And folks fell for it before, because this is how the crime bill came about.
Give them that history, bro.
Because Ronald Reagan, while the country was fucked up on the Reagan, while the country was fucked up on the Bush with crime, they kept on pushing the envelope. We're tough against crime, Democrats not. So when Democrats finally got in office, they came with the crime bill to prove that they could be tough on crime as well. And that's what you see. This is Trump country, just like it was Reagan's. Everything was fucked up like it is now. But Trump saying, well, what would happen if Biden take over? Well, nigga, this is what we're saying now. But people falling for that shit. Because
I disagree. I disagree completely. Like, first of all, if you've ever taken any kind of a statistics class, you understand how statistics can be skewed. Of course, if I take a poll outside of the Republican National Convention, yeah, your approval rating went up. But that is not any way reflective of this.
I've been polled, and what they do is see they're polling. You got to see where they're polling, because you
have you seen where they're polling?
Well, Sheila, I think you've been a bit naive when you say that these poll records don't reflect nothing, because Trump's approval.
I'm saying enough for the country. I don't.
Trump's approval under Republicans has not wavered at all his whole presidency. That's one thing that has been remained consistent. His base has not wavered at all. And if you go back, the reason he won was because of his base, because he only won by, I think they said overall.
Yeah, he won by, if you combine the swing states, 78,000 votes.
Yeah, 78,000 votes. Like, so he won by 78,000 votes. So he didn't win a popular, because like you said, across the country, yes, he lost the popular vote. But in swing states, the Bible Belt, the Midwest, he had a hold on those people, and he still has a hold on those people. And those people are the ones who are backing the white boy who just shot somebody in Wisconsin and trying to do a GoFundMe. There's a lot of people. I like when you say you think evil people are only about 30% of the country. I disagree, because if that was the case, that means that 70% of the country would be good, and we would have had. I think we would have had more and better legislation by now if it was.
You still have to factor in indifferent. There's not just good and bad.
I still disagree. Like I will say with all the confidence that I can, I think we have more racist people in this country than not.
Yes.
Period.
I would just add.
Okay, let's
I believe I believe in the Family Feud polling more than I do about this shit that they be posting.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. But I mean, obviously,
racism, you still got a bunch of white people who lost all their money. Top 1% is doing fine. You still have a bunch of regular white people who's about their pockets more than they are about racism.
But what you are losing
their business, and they're looking at how this dude is handling our economy. They're looking at their family members. Let me finish my sentence. They're looking at their family members die from coronavirus. We're acting like racism is the only issue, and it's not.
It's not the only, but it's the biggest. Let me tell you this, Sheila. I want you to do me a favor. Next time there's like a video of a police shooting of a black person or a Black Lives Matter protest, something, go to Fox News and go into their comments.
I've been there.
Go to Fox News and go to their now. Just to give you some more, like you talk about statistics and numbers, go to their page, because also, as I said, Fox is the highest rated cable, not news, the highest rated cable company, period. So that tells you how many people watch Fox News, people rocking with Fox News. And you said, I know you said a lot of people are more concerned with their pockets than racism. I have to disagree again, because we know one of the biggest components and one of the biggest backers of Donald Trump was poor, uneducated white people. And even though he said he ain't did nothing to help their pocket situation, he ain't did nothing to help them economically, like you said. But you know what? He can do all the shit that he want to do by giving his boys that tax break that helps the 1%. Long as he keep pushing and talking this racist shit, they don't give a damn about nothing else. As long as you giving them that racist shit that they want. Like, because he said he was going to build a wall. He done lied about that. But if you go ask them, they really believe that he built a wall. Like, you go talk to Trump supporters, like, they believe shit that he never did. They believe he really did it. Like, I'm trying to tell you, you talking from the place of a person with some fucking sense. I'm just going to be real with you. You talking from the place of somebody with some real common sense. But if you go and have these conversations with these people, if you go like me and Quincy do on a regular basis into these rooms with not only Republicans, but Republicans and straight staunch Trump supporters, you will see how much of they are. A lot of them are one what you call it, one policy voters. Like, they only vote for one thing. Like
one thing.
Yeah, they so if they say you keeping the Mexicans out, that's all they need to hear. That one thing is enough for them. Oh, you don't like Black Lives Matter? That's for them. You say Blue Lives Matter? That's for them. Like, they are so many, like, Democrats are the dumbasses who want everything, right? Like, Democrats are the ones, they're the ones who try to cover everything on the umbrella. But you got so many people who are Republicans who are voting for one thing in particular, right? Go ahead, Quincy.
And also the most important thing is you have independent voters, right? So one of the things, one group of people Kamala Harris did really good with was white women who live in the suburbs, right? So when Trump said, "Hey, I'm going to stop them from coming into your neighborhoods," guess who he's trying to scare?
White women in the suburbs.
White women in the suburbs. When Trump reversed Obama's family fair housing rule, because I don't want criminals and the MS-13s that come into your neighborhoods. White women in the suburbs. When you talk about this law and order shit messing up your neighborhoods, all that, tell you the truth. And they don't want to admit it. To me, he's taking a lot of the Ronald Reagan's playbook, because
he's taking out a lot of everybody who's evil.
Because this is how you had 12 years of Republicans from 1980 to 1992, because they went on. You see all these gangs, you see all the drive-bys, the rioting. Democrats going to allow them to come into your neighborhoods. And that's why from 1980 to 1992, you had Republican presidents. And that's the same type of shit he's doing now. He's telling them, look, you see all this rioting and all this stuff? They coming into your neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And to white folks, I don't give a fuck if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. You know, they're afraid of certain people coming into their neighborhoods. I mean, they made this point a few months ago. A lot of those Karens are liberals.
Yeah.
So we can't be fooled, and that's why he's staying focused on this topic, because he knows no matter what party they with, they do not want certain motherfuckers in their neighborhoods, and that's why he has locked in on it.
Well, like you said,
we still just have to disagree. Like I do not deny that there's a large number of people out here that are super racist. I do still think that them projecting numbers like this in these polls is their way of manipulating us into believing that he can take this election straight up. I think that if he takes this election, he will literally have taken that bitch. He will have stolen it.
I don't know.
And
from the people I talk, the amount of people I talk to,
or how they building it up to make it settle in our mind.
Because what happened? Because what happens last time is you had secret Trump supporters.
Yep.
Those was the people that voted for Obama, that voted for Trump. So you can't discount the secret Trump supporters, because there's no way. I don't know how anybody named Mom could go from Obama to Trump, but apparently there's a group of people that can and that will. And so,
and we don't have to talk about polling. We can talk about actual numbers of who voted for him. Like you forget, at least you forget 53% of white women voted for Trump last time, even though a white woman was actually running for president. Like that, so that kind of tells you where they are. Like 53, that's a huge number. Jamal said
sexism is even bigger than the racism. So I do know what you're talking about there.
Y'all have to remember that more than half the black people in this country are middle class. These arguments ignore those people. How so?
Half the black people? Oh, whoa. Hold on.
Yeah, half the black people are not middle class.
How can we be 1.7% of the income and all be middle class? There is no middle class, especially for black people.
Yeah, it is spooky. And I do grant you, like maybe I am thinking a little too logically here. I do understand that there is a full attack on logic, on reality, and on truth.
Well, and it's working. Like Pandora said, he's pushing this whole law and order thing, even though this is all happening under him. You know what I mean? Like he's pushing this is going to be Biden's America, even though this is actually Trump's America. But his supporters are like, yes. Like his supporters are like, yes. And even like literally on Tucker Carlson literally said the other night, if you vote for Biden, that means Black Lives Matter gonna be coming to your door next. So this is literally the shit that they're pushing.
Hey, Sheila, you go on Twitter, people were really saying why Biden haven't stopped the rioting. I'm like, wait a minute, motherfucker, he's not the president. Like, and you have people that's really talking about why Biden haven't stopped the rioting. Why Biden? I was like, wait a minute, he's not president.
It's like mind control. Like it really is like a mind control.
I said this in our chat. Trump has dialed. He found out very early, about 2015, with that birther shit, how dumb this country really is.
Yes.
And he has tapped into it, and he's gonna ride that shit all the way to the end because he has realized how people always say, no, American citizens are smart. No, we're not. These motherfuckers are dumb as fuck. And he has tapped into it, and he's going to ride it all the way to the end.
I just don't understand how even if you're just basic, like just even kind of dumb, if you looked at the Republican convention and like the lies were so blatant, it wasn't even this might halfway be understand. Like this dude's talking about coronavirus like it's past tense, like he done defeated it already.
I'm gonna say, did you see the RNC when they was like, we killed it? Like they was giving high five, like we killed it on the coronavirus.
I'm looking at his son coked up on camera. Dude, no way Donald Jr. was talking with less than 3 or 4 lines in him. No way.
Yeah.
If you are such a terrible person that the only people you can get to talk positively are your kids and 2 or 3 other people, like that alone is just.
We're speaking from a black perspective though, and that's what we have to realize. Like nobody cares about black people, and somebody made that comment, and this is even black people. So think about that. We're fighting everyone else, plus we're fighting our own. So when we gonna be ready to leave? I mean, at some point, I think I posted that in the group today. That's the next suggestion. It's time to go. I mean, every other group that's been oppressed, they just left. We want to stay though. Let's change.
Well, that's not true. Everybody else who's been oppressed got made whole, and they've been economically made whole, and they good. That's why you can have a Chinatown, a Koreatown. No, they ain't leave though. They here and they doing good and they thriving. I want us to have the same America. Like fuck that.
It ain't. But how long are we gonna fight for that? We gonna keep just keep fighting.
Well, we ain't fought. We ain't fought for it yet. We ain't really fought for it yet. To be honest, we ain't really fought for it yet. Jamal said a month ago these were mostly peaceful protests. Now when they have to admit there's violence, it's Trump's America. Nah, nigga, been Trump's America.
America been America before Trump.
You know what this kind of remind me of is the first purge. It was actually the last one, but it was called the first purge. When they realized no one was purging, so the government has sent people in to fuck shit up, to make it more violent. Because people was partying instead of purging. And when you look at where the violence is, one thing what you have seen is you have Trump supporters coming into areas where the peaceful protesters are, starting shit, killing people, and then it's being put out that the protesters was being violent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I want to say because they talked about a cop being killed in the RNC, but what they didn't say, that cop was killed by a Trump supporter and a Boogaloo boy, right? They talk about the violence in Portland. What they don't say is the violence in Portland was purported by a Trump supporter who ended up getting killed when they came in there shooting people with guns and paintball guns. Then you had the kid in Wisconsin with the AR-15. He went in. The violence of like the actual killings have actually been coming from Trump and his supporters, but when they get on TV, they twist it and say Black Lives Matter is out here committing the violence. And even some of the first riots, like we have the proof from the dude's wife, we have proof from we have video proof that some of the first things that were started, the first riots that were started during the George Floyd protest was a white man who started at that AutoZone. So we have seen a bunch of white agitators coming in, starting and pushing up more violence and pushing up the frequency on that violence. So yeah, man, I just think if he gets to keep pushing this line, I will say I think Biden did a good job of striking back. I think he did a good job when he responded this week. I think he did a really good job responding where he still sounded like he was tough on crime, but didn't sound like he was not empathetic to actual peaceful protests. You know what I mean? So he did a good job there. I just know him and Kamala, if they want to win this thing, they really gonna have to go and attack a lot more. Yeah. They're gonna have to go and attack a whole lot more.
And you know what? They're gonna have to kill those debates. It's going because
that wouldn't even be hard. I don't think they even gonna show up for the debate, to be honest.
Well, you know what? Hillary, like Dame said, Hillary actually went on facts. Hillary won the debates, but what everybody remember, all the shit Trump said and did. And so, and so the way how this political game worked, I remember I did did some research on Kennedy and Richard Nixon debate. Interesting that people who listened to it on radio thought Nixon won the debate. People who watched it on TV thought Kennedy won the debate. So what Trump is going to try to do, he's going to try to do something unnecessary. You remember how he was walking around Hillary doing all that bullshit, because people in this country are dumb and superficial. And just like we was talking about, like folks love messy TV, they love all the bullshit, and he knows that. So what Biden gonna have to do is he's gonna have to pull out some of that crazy Joe shit without saying something ignorant, and he's gonna have to really fire back on Trump on some non-PC shit, so folks can remember.
He's gonna have to talk him down.
Yeah. Now Kamala, I'm not too worried about, because what Kamala what they're gonna try to bait her into is looking like an angry black woman, which I think she's used to now, and I think she'll figure it out, because I think what she's gonna do is pretty much act like she's in trial and tear Pence's ass up.
I don't even think he'll show to debate her.
Oh, he will.
You want to address this comment, Ron?
No, I don't even want to sit and argue with him.
I can't see or hear Ron.
I don't even want to deal with him. Yeah, you guys can address it, but I'm good. I mean, you can only go back and forth with people, man. When you got your mind made up, hey.
You want to address it, Quincy?
No.
The black middle class. Anybody? Rob, want to take it?
I already told you, like, I'm not wasting my energy, debating the wall.
Well, I will say this: if the black middle class numbers say that 40% of blacks are middle class, then how come our poverty rate is what it is right now? Like those two can't be true at the same time. So Jamal, I want you to show me how 40% of black families are middle class. 40% of blacks are middle class, but we also have the highest rate of poverty. Like simple math.
Go on Fox News; they'll show you, dang.
That shit just don't add up.
And the penitentiary population,
but that low key sound to me like you niggas got it. Why aren't you happy?
Why can't I see her?
Y'all got it.
Everybody else can see her.
I blocked you.
Yeah, I can see him and hear him fine.
It's just like a box with a swirling circle where we're on.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, I see everybody fun.
That's that prodigy.net.
Chan, are you alive?
Barely.
She on mute. Oh, okay.
There's a Wi-Fi over here. I don't know. Whatever. Y'all want me to talk about it?
Yes, please.
I can't hear Chan or Ron. This is really weird.
No, I'm not going to talk about it.
What?
But just out of median income, the average black person has $17,000 worth of assets, while the average white person has $170,000 worth of assets. If you can find 40%, if that's middle class, having $17,000 worth of assets as an average, hey, go for it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I say the numbers don't bear out to. Yeah, the bear outs don't. The numbers don't bear out to that.
We're renters.
We got high this home ownership is all that stuff. I don't understand how we're up there with that. So
yeah, but on Fox News, I'm sure you can hear that.
But Ron, I'm finna say, especially, can you give me the numbers on the black median income again? And
like these must be numbers, these must be numbers in Georgia somewhere because they definitely
right. It's specific to one state, but in general, the average black family has $17,000 worth of liquid assets. I mean, I don't know if you guys need me to explain that, but the average white household has about 170,000. So we're roughly 10% of what they have in liquid asset, meaning we can sell it and have the cash. But overall, we're renters, we're leasers. We don't buy anything. We don't own anything. We don't have distribution on anything. We don't produce anything. It's damn near impossible to say 40% of us are middle class. And then what do you gauge middle class as? That would be the big question there. And
I was going to say, I was going to say, because Pandora said there's vast disparity between white and black middle class. So for me, I was talking about middle class, period. I wasn't even talking about
right. And that's what I'm talking about too. But if he's just narrowing it to just
I wasn't talking
people,
about middle class to black I'm talking about period middle class in America.
You're comparing the worst with the worst. I mean, it's just like, come on. we got to have some sort of standard that we're dealing with there.
All right, next topic.
Yeah.
We buying guns, y'all. I want to say there was a report that came out that 58% of all new firearm purchases have been black people, and I'm proud of y'all. Good job. Good job.
Need more.
Because as you can see,
every time I make up my mind, I just be looking at my temper. And I'm kind of scared to, I'm trying to develop into a better person now. Before it used to be like sunshine to nuclear winter in like 8 seconds. Now it's more like 12.
Yeah. I don't know if Aries women should buy guns. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with it, Q.
And you know what? My mom and my sister and my aunt are Aries, and I'm against all Aries women having guns.
I need to start with a pellet gun and see how that pans out.
See how many times you say I'm gonna go in the house and get it. See how many times you feel like you gotta go pull it out.
Because I could think of a time I would have shot at a bird, like a bird shitted on me. Like I would have shot at birds, like, and then.
Yeah, you supporting Quincy's petition. You supporting his petition right now.
You know how many Aries women would be shooting people and then feeling bad afterwards?
Yeah, we're
Aries cancer.
Call the ambulance and stay with you and put pressure on the wound.
Yeah, that's they shit. They mad as fuck. Light your ass up. They ain't gonna feel bad.
Nobody mad at you, Jamal. I'm just saying the numbers don't bear out, bro. Like you can't say that 40% of black people are middle class when the numbers of our actual income don't show that. Like if 40% of us were middle class, the actual black household income would be higher. The black medium income would be higher than 17. So that's all I'm saying. I want to say I'm proud of y'all and everybody else. If you can, go get armed, because as you see, people are not showing up to these protests to be peaceful anymore. So they coming with them things. Y'all need to start coming with them things too.
You know what? I think we should try to make California an open carry state.
It ain't gonna happen. Not with the minority mix we have here. That really only happens in the South, where there was a heavy white population. They never let us be armed like that in California. But I would just say, if you don't have a felony, if you don't have a felony,
I think there should be like some strict restrictions. You know, if you got a violent felony, you've been arrested for domestic violence, all those laws are still in play. But why should we be punished of our Second Amendment if we never been convicted of any violent crimes?
Right.
That's what
they do is they use our poverty and our need to try to get up out of poverty to make us feel guns are bad. When in reality, they're poor, understand why you need a gun, regardless of how much income they have. But it's just it's like a mind fuck that they have on Black America, and we buy into it. So I would just say for those who are interested, we'd like to promote, a Black-owned gun store too. So if you guys are familiar with Redstone and Redstone Firearms in Burbank, they have courses to go over these types of things, and they work with people, even if you have bad tempers and whatnot. I just think once you get trained, you then have a better mind frame on how and when you would be using a firearm. California is one of the most strictest states, so you can't just shoot somebody because you want to. You have to, they have to be facing you, they have to be approaching you, they can't be running away from you. So there's a lot of things that go into actually using. Right, and it sounds like common sense stuff, but baby mamas shooting at baby daddies because they didn't move the car and shit like that.
But I will also say this to Black folks, and I'm gonna say it every time we mention guns. Also, make sure you have a camera, either your phone or invest in you a little body camera
on the end of the gun.
Yeah, they actually do have those now. They have those.
They actually do have those.
Mm-hmm.
CYA,
this is where a GoPro on your head all everywhere. Shit.
Yeah. Two things racist people fear: Black people with guns and Black people with cameras.
With cameras, right?
So
that's why they always be like, "Stop filming me! Why are you filming me?" Because I want people to know what the hell you doing.
They hate.
It's like this lady in Manhattan Beach talking about she's African. She's a Black and from Africa, and I mean she's basically saying nigger.
She said nigger before the camera came on, and that's
real talk though for everybody in LA. There are a lot of neo-Nazi groups in El Segundo, so that is something to keep your eyes open when you're at Dockweiler. But I mean specifically because let's be real, most of the Black people go to the beach. A lot of us will go to Dockweiler. We'll go to like Manhattan Beach and stuff, but specifically
everywhere I go,
there are a bunch of neo-Nazi groups there. So please let that be something that out there.
I knew a whole block of them over there in Long Beach, close to the 605. On a street called Stevely.
Yeah, Torrance too. Yeah, Torrance is
Torrance.
Torrance got neo-Nazis and racist Mexicans.
Skinheads in the valley. I mean, they're all over.
But Torrance,
PD. I think you got to be Ku Klux Klan to even get on.
Yeah. Torrance.
Where's your mask at? Where your hood? You got your hood?
Yeah. All right, so hey, Cali, for real. He said, ever been to Alameda or Castro Valley? Yeah, them places are horrible with the neo-Nazis. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of these neo-Nazis. That's why I say, yo, get strapped up, y'all.
Sleeper cells.
Practice y'all Second Amendment rights, like Ron said. Because I've changed my thinking on this. They used to make us feel like it's bad to have guns. And then I was like, why are they always making us feel like it's bad to have guns? But they all got them. And they always going to gun shows and shit. I was like, fuck that.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
It'd be weird when you go to a gun show and they all looking at you like, oh shit.
Yeah, like so now I'm
telling you this.
I'm a proponent of the Second Amendment, and I will tell all my people to practice your Second Amendment rights while you can. All right. Become one of them people that ain't taking my guns. Be one of them people.
You don't have to be NRA. Tell them, Dan, you don't have to be NRA. We
don't have to be NRA.
We have a gun association for Black people. So
yeah, because NRA ain't gonna do nothing. NRA don't fuck with Black people anyway. So there's a black gun association that we can join in. Also, give them one more time. Redstone Firearms.
Yeah, redstonefirearms.com.
Redstonefirearms.com. Yeah, redstonefirearms.com. Check it out. Yeah, and now I want to go to something that's a little uplifting, something that showed that there is a little bit of hope for maybe the next generation to keep pushing their power, their economic power. I want to say it wasn't a boycott. Like I know I put that, but everybody been calling it the NBA boycott. I want people to understand it was a strike. It was a strike because a boycott means, just to be clear, a boycott means you're not giving your money to somebody. That means like I'm not paying to go see A, B, C, and D. That's a boycott. They didn't boycott. They strike. And the reason I say they had a strike is more powerful because it showed you their economic power by taking their talent and saying, we're going to sit down and we're not going to play in a playoff game. And unless y'all do A, B, C, and D. And I know it only lasted for 24 hours, but I'm going to tell you why it lasted for 24 hours. One, all them owners got on the phone with the motherfucking quickness when that happened because they lost millions and millions of dollars in that 48 hours. And that 48 hours that they weren't on TNT, bro, they lost millions and millions of dollars. So I feel like the players used their leverage to not only get the people, the attorney general of Wisconsin on the phone, but they also use it now to get more voting polling places. They use it to get some more initiatives for Black people under the NBA Cares program. They use it to get more initiatives for specific players and specific players coalitions to do things to go out and help Black people. I think they did a great job of utilizing their power. The work stoppage was exactly what was needed because their work stoppage pushed the MLB to a work stoppage. It pushed the NFL to a work stoppage. So it shows you how big and how powerful it can be if Black athletes actually took their power and stand up for what they believed in. And I think it was
all that NFL. I need NFL to step in here too.
Yeah, I think it was a great thing. I think it showed a lot, and I think it showed the players like, oh, we won't get fired if we step down. Yeah, because I think that was they were so afraid of. Yeah, for so long they were so afraid. Like if we do this, we gonna lose our job. We're not gonna be able to be millionaires no more.
Do it together. Do it together as a fist.
What you saw is when the big stars make a move, the league have no choice. Like I give you a prime example. Mookie Betts on the Dodgers said, "I'm not gonna play today." All right. So in support of the NBA players. Well, Kershaw was like, well, you know what? If you don't play, none of us going to play. And so and then the manager said, you know what? I won't manage. So now you got to postpone the game. But the reason why that happened is because it started with the major stars. And I think that's the one thing that's missing from football is that
white quarterbacks.
It's not the main people that's doing it, because you better believe if the main major stars of that league said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to play. They're going to move. But because that's not, Kaepernick at that point, he was battling for his job, for a starting job. He wasn't one of the top stars. And that's why I respect people like Richard Sherman, those type of guys. But we need those Aaron Rodgers, those Russell Wilsons, those Tom Brady. Those are the type of people that Patrick Mahomes. Those are the type of people they need. Because if Patrick Mahomes say, you know what? I know y'all got us opening up next Thursday, but I won't play unless such and such is done. They'll do that shit in a minute.
You need to do it Wednesday.
Yeah.
Don't give them no time to plan and react.
And so I think that's what the NBA got for him. It's not just Kyle Kuzma. Like you got the main niggas. You got Kawhi and LeBron walking out of meetings. Right. And now everybody looking around like, well, we can't go with no playoff without the Clippers and the Lakers. So what you gonna do? You got to do something.
And it's really sad that it took us this long to understand the kind of power that we have in this country, but it was incredibly inspiring to see now that they get it, to see them wield it. Because it's not like we're insignificant, but when a Black man shows his intelligence and uses his power, is something different. Everything moves in a different way. That's why they are the most afraid of you and come to try to kill you first. We came up in eras where so many of our leaders were murdered. You've always had people afraid to be murdered. Because even with the leaders that we start to develop now, they may not murder you physically, but they will assassinate your character. I'm looking forward to come for LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? But now you have all these people who stood together and they've done something powerful. Even the young lady with tennis,
Osaka. Osaka. Yeah.
She. I mean, to see that kind of unity was really beautiful, because I feel like that's another mind trick that they have. Oh, Black people don't come together. We will come together. As long as we can just mentally reprogram ourselves. We've been programmed to believe that we don't know how to work together and we don't know how to build together, but we can. We just have to put forth serious effort, and it's happening. And I'm just so happy to be here during this time.
The one problem, though, Q, let me get this in, because I was waiting. I want to respond to what she was saying. The one problem with that wielding our power is the white reaction to it. They are going to beat their ass in that CBA that's coming up. This won't happen again. You know, because they're going to put bylaws in that CBA that's coming up.
Well, Ron, I will say this. I will say, hold on. I will say this. The NBA got the best union.
Yeah, well,
they got the best union. It's going to be hard. It's going to be kind of hard to do
for the team.
For the players.
But also, when you 80% of the league, see, that's the thing about the NBA players. They can figure out their leverage.
Yeah.
Same with the NFL. We 70%.
But the thing about at the same time is look at the commissioners, because Silver is very progressive. Goodell is not someone that's going to stand up to the owners.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I'm just saying let's keep in mind, because we saw what happened with Obama. We get Trump.
Well, I know they're going to try. Look, they're going to try.
Shit, you watch.
I was going to say they're going to try, but the reason that the NBA have the best contracts all around, they have the most guaranteed contract out of any sport, is because they have the best union of all major league sports.
I would say this, though. It's going to depend who steps up, because by the time that happens, remember, LeBron is 35.
Yeah, he on the
CP3 is out of here. Yeah.
36.
Chris Paul. So it's got to take that next generation. That's why they mad at LeBron, because LeBron kind of shows these niggas they leverage.
Yeah.
Like when you got leverage, you know, use it. Same thing with that player. Everybody who has leverage,
use it.
You need to use it. And I think that's why they're so mad at LeBron, because he didn't show those players, okay, look, we got some leverage here. You know,
just look at the comments though on his page when he did that. People hate LeBron. I mean, it was the anger and the hate. You shut up and play ball, and what do you do? All those millions sitting up, you know.
But you know what, Ron?
You have to get over it.
But you know what, Ron? You know, I was only starstruck one time in my life, and that was when
Magic
I met
Johnson.
No, it was Muhammad Ali.
That's even better. Yeah,
it was Muhammad Ali, and we didn't talk long. But one thing he reminded me of is how he wasn't always loved.
Yeah,
and as much people love him and praise him, all that, he reminded me it wasn't always like this.
When he became
96 was that? Yes. No, 96 he became favorable because he could barely walk and talk. And he lit the torch.
Look at how long that gap was.
Yeah, 65 to 96.
I mean, just in 5. What has it been? 4 or 5 years? We didn't kind of seen the narrative already starting to turn on Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, he was right. I mean, he don't need sense to that. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to your point, the same thing, like you said, Quincy, the same thing. How everybody's starting to say, well, Kaepernick was right. It was the same thing with Muhammad Ali when he was talking against the Vietnam War, and they was killing them, and they was calling them un-American. Same shit they was saying about Kaepernick, calling them un-American, and all that. And then the same thing they be doing. All these white people love to bring up the name of Martin Luther King when, like, y'all hated Martin Luther King. Dude, y'all called him a communist. He was a commie when he was alive.
His approval rating was 33%. Mm-hmm. At the time of his assassination.
So they wasn't rocking with him either. So that's why, like you said, they have to understand that, in order to rock the boat, in order to rock that boat, you're gonna have to be ready to take on that heat. But
we do it together. We can do it together. We can take it on.
Yeah. You know what? It said something interesting. He said it should be Giannis, but he hasn't said anything.
I want to talk on that one.
Go ahead.
He's not American.
Right, he's not American. He's
that's what I was going to say.
He claims Greek. Yeah. So I think we have to be very cognizant of those athletes in which we're looking to speak up, and also recognize that not necessarily segregate those black athletes that are foreign to U.S. culture, U.S. norms.
Yeah, because he got a different experience because he was
they're
really
non-ADOS.
Yeah, like because he doesn't have the Black American experience. He just doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
and neither does Trevor Noah. Like I don't.
You know what? I think I'm trying to think. I think Dame Lillard
got
that in him. I'm just trying to think of players who I think would be willing to just say, I'm talking about
Will.
You know,
Jamal Murray from the Nuggets.
You know what? Anthony Davis said some stuff as well. And he was saying, he's like, pretty much they know. He said the owners know if they don't do what we asked for, we just gonna stop playing.
Yeah. And like I said, they done messed up now because they know they got that leverage. Now they know when they you can't, once you know the power you have, it's kind of hard to put that toothpaste back into the tube. And I think that's why I was glad that it happened. And we got to see it in the middle of a pandemic where everybody was home. Everybody had been dependent on basketball for some sort of an entertainment and reprieve. Right. And they took it away right in the middle again. And this time, not because of the pandemic, specifically because of the treatment of Black people. So I think that showed a lot of balls. It showed a lot of guts. And I know that somebody that I respect very highly, he said he can't really speak on it much, of course, because of NDAs, but he said he has been contacted by multiple sports, multiple NBA teams and multiple NBA front offices about doing things with him. So right now, it's continuing. It's not just like that thing happened and it stopped. Like there's other things in the works. There's other things happening, just so you guys know that it wasn't for show. It wasn't just one day and they got right back to work. No, there's a lot of things in the works that are happening and that are still going.
Yeah. And it's kind of the equivalent. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Shannon.
Sorry. Hopefully I'm coming across okay, but that's what I wanted to comment on, Dame, because I saw a lot of comments about, oh, this was for show. Oh, it was only a day. It was this and that. I mean, a lot of people who don't know, first of all, there's been a history of activism in athletics for a long time. This is not like, a one-time thing or whatever. There's been a history of it. And also, I mentioned on a comment too, like the boycott, the Montgomery bus boycott, that took over a year. Like a year of them sacrificing, riding horses, walking, doing all that, for them to have something to happen. In 24 hours, we can get these young Black men to get their boss on the phone with his rich friends to start doing something, then that's a start. And like,
well, and I think I'm gonna say I think they figured out. Yeah, go ahead, Chan.
Figured out like that was their money. They weren't boycotting like, oh, I'm not gonna give y'all my money. It's like, no, this is gonna affect our job. How many of us could leave our job and say, if y'all don't do this, we're not going back to work? A lot of us don't have that luxury. We can't. So, I mean, I think we have to give props to them for what they did in that moment and to come together and what is still happening. That's kind of all I want.
Hey, look, that owner from the Bucks had them in a phone conversation with the lieutenant governor and the attorney general of Wisconsin in less than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Just makes you think why they haven't done it before and why does it take players having to strike? That just shows their true colors as owners. And I mean, shit, they call themselves owners. I mean, what else?
Also, I found out they also talked with Jacobs Blake's father.
Yeah,
and include him on the conversation of what was going on up there. So the players also talked to Jacobs Blake's father too.
Well, and it's smart, and it was smart to use. It was smart to understand that, all of these owners have political cachet in all these cities where they have, where they have stadiums, where they're trying to get stadiums built. Yeah. Like Steve Ballmer, and like you said, Ron, and because I want to talk about this too, just real briefly, how you said it kind of showed the owners' true colors because they haven't done it on their own volition. Well, one, sometimes we do have to push the envelope for it to happen, and then second, I'm so tired of Black people hoping that white people do shit for wholesome reasons. Look, I don't never think you're gonna do that shit for wholesome reasons. Just
money
do
or
the
violence.
Shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your wholesome reasons. I give a fuck if you do it. I care if you do it and it works. right? Like
Right.
if you begrudgingly sign a law sign a law for us to stop police brutality, I don't care if you did it begrudgingly. If the law is on the book and the law is working, because I feel like black people get wrapped up so much in moral arguments over shit. You know, we get so wrapped up in the moral side of it. I'm like, look, I don't expect anybody who's done and been racist and have benefited from a racist system to want to give that up willfully. I just don't. That's my baseline. That's
okay.
You said who?
Like Kim Kardashian. Like when people be like, "What? She just doing this for publicity." Look, she getting niggas free. I don't care why she doing it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I think Kanye was the sacrifice there, but I'm with you. I'm still just like, I don't care if a dope dealer decides to give us money to fund something that will help our community. Oh, that's dirty money. You better take that dirty money and use it for what you need it for. Like, I'm with you. Like, I don't understand the
we get morality. Yeah, I'm gonna say
dirty world.
Well, especially since that's not how America works, right? Like America don't care about morality. America don't really care about doing what's right for what's right's sake. If you go back and look at almost anything in history that has helped push black people forward in any way, that shit was never done out of the goodness of the Congress heart. Never.
Even your boy Lincoln.
Even Lincoln, that was about capitalism. You know what I mean? Like even that was about even freeing the slaves was about capitalism. So I want us to
taxes from them.
Right. So I want us to get a better understanding just so we can maneuver better, just so we can start to move and change our mindset, because a lot of times we get so stuck and caught up on the morality of it. Like, well, I'm not going to back that person because I don't like them. I'm like, okay, I don't care if you don't like them. Will they help you achieve your goal going forward? Will they help? You know what I mean? Because
people that you like don't do nothing.
Well, I've seen people who don't like each other make multi-million-dollar deals after they just cuss each other out and they go in together. But we don't think like that. We be like, fuck him, I don't like him, and then therefore we don't do the things we do to help build our resources. So I just want to talk about that real quickly before Chan cuts us off. Chan, give us that DM so before we get out of here. You thought I was gonna keep going, huh? You thought I was gonna miss today.
Wait. Okay, no, this is good. This is really, really fast. Wait.
Okay.
Am I good? Okay. Very simple. You found the perfect person. Everything is great. You guys get along great. Perfect. Everything great. They have herpes.
What?
This is the worst fucking DM ever.
Man. So they tell you, Chan, or you find out because you see an outbreak?
No, they tell you.
Oh, well, at least they were honest before you leave them.
And they the perfect person.
Besides the hurt.
The bump speak otherwise.
Oh shit!
But I mean, what is
based on my research on herpes,
motherfuckers got it and don't even know it.
Yeah, I think a lot of
more people got it. More people got it than willing to admit it.
Well, here's the scary
just based on statistics. It's 1 out of every 5, right? So that means one of us here got it.
It's like even with a condom on, you can still catch herpes.
Yeah,
you can either catch herpes by touching one of the sores, or there's this period called shedding that a virus goes through. I learned this about herpes and HPV. There's a period called shedding where you're not even symptomatic and you can still catch it. The risk of catching something that I'm not gonna ever be able to get rid of.
Truvada.
I'm gonna take a nigga with a couple of baby mamas and no herpes over somebody with herpes. I don't know, man.
Isn't there some medication that they're supposed to be taking for that?
Yeah, they got a cream for it.
Yeah, they got a lot of they got a lot of suppressions for it.
Herpes is the gift that keeps on giving. No,
man, you know, it's like Chris.
You still have flare-ups.
Yeah, because some people have it and never have flare-ups.
Right, right, and that's my point. It's in your bloodstream.
You'll have one.
No, I think that's more like HPV. Herpes, at some point, you've had a flare-up.
Some people have it and never.
I don't think that's true, Quincy.
Well, no, some people do have it and never had a flare-up.
Yeah. So let's Google it. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't think that.
So is it something that's stress-driven?
What happens is
I know stress.
I heard it is.
Once it gets into your system, generally you'll have some type of flare up the first time you.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you find out.
Not realize it may be, you may not think you've had a flare up, and then you might never have another one again. It stays dormant. But
yeah.
So here's what the CDC says.
You still have. Oh, we don't trust the CDC.
Yeah.
You still have the hurt, and you can pass. So y'all not answering my question. Perfect.
I was trying to answer it. Every time I try to answer, I get interrupted.
They have the hurt.
I'm sorry if I interrupted.
I think if the person is the perfect person and they were honest and they told you, from what I know, most people who do have it do have a hold on it. You know, like when flare-ups come. And I'm not saying that anything is perfect, but I honestly think as mature adults, I think it should be something that you probably could work with. Me personally.
Yeah.
So when at that time, Sheila, you thinking he gay? He just holding off to that symptom clear up.
Yeah, I've actually know people who have it, and some of them never. The only reason why they went to go get tested is because the person they were with before told them. So that's how I know. Like, they never had a flare up, and they got tested, and because they was going back and forth. It's like, I never had anything. Should I tell people or should I not? And that was the conversation that was had. But if it's a perfect person, like I said, I think I've done enough research on it for me to feel comfortable. Now, if they one of them people that have them often flare-ups, I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably different. Yeah,
I don't know if you want them people to, every month, every 2 months, your shit breaking out. That probably ain't gonna cut it.
I would wait until marriage to have sex.
But hey, matter of fact, Sheila, one of the people who I know got it, she saved her virginity till she was married, and that's how she got it from her husband.
Damn.
And he didn't know until his first flare up, which was when he got married. So and so
that means he slept with somebody right before he got married. When you had that first flare up, not too long after you're introduced to viruses like that.
No, I don't know.
It depends on your body. React.
Yeah.
I read a lot of stuff. Y'all know I'm a fake doctor, so it totally depends. And plus, I had a friend who, we were talking, and I guess it was kind of the same situation, except for she met a really nice guy. He was but he told her right up front, like, he got it when he was 18, very young. He was like, it's under control. I'm like, this is something I did. He told her straight up front, and she was like, what do I do? Like, this is the nicest guy. I really like him. I want to see where it goes. And this is just like a hindrance at this point. Like, and she ended up not talking to him because she just felt like, that was, I guess it's good to be educated about it because, again, everything reacts different for other people. The fact that the person was honest and told them that they had the hurt. Because
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that honesty is rare. Honesty is rare.
That is true. And to have to be honest about something that difficult, that definitely is something that you can't overlook.
I also think that the fact that she said perfect person, it leads me to believe that they have a relationship in which there's good communication and there's that drive of honesty. And as long as they have that, it sounds like, I'm assuming that they'll have a good time, Till
you get burned.
I guess I'm thinking from my trauma. I've had relationships that obviously don't work out. So I don't want to be walking around carrying that shit like luggage after this relationship don't work out. So yes, I do to your point, Chandra's, feel like it's worth giving somebody a shot because honesty is difficult to find, and being honest about something that hard does say something about the character of that person. So that is something to at least give it a shot. But that's a hard shot, bro.
And CDC says, let me just read what they say, Shannon, if you will, for a moment. Most people who have genital herpes have no symptoms or have very mild symptoms. You may not notice mild symptoms, or you may mistake them for another skin condition, such as a pimple or an ingrown hair. Because of this, most people who have herpes do not know it. So a lot of people are walking around with it and don't know it. So it's just something that we it's in us. It's in us, not on us.
I think for me at this point, I feel like I've made it safely through life, with everything intact. So I would just have to pass on it.
You would pass? Oh, so let me ask you, Chan. What if it was you that had it? What? How would you? Huh?
If I had herpes,
just find somebody else with herpes.
No, then we're passing.
They got like a herpes group,
right? I'm sure there's a herpes Facebook group.
Yeah, they like pumps and the bumps.
Ryan, I'm not fucking with you, bro. But yeah, like I don't know.
I honestly thought about that, Dame. That's a good question. Y'all know I don't really date anyway. But honestly, if I had it, I would not date. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't date at all if you had it. Damn, that's crazy.
I wouldn't either.
Let's take away herpes. I think herpes because it's lifelong. How about a yeast infection or something that's mild and curable?
If a guy had
obviously damn well I ain't talking about no guy. But would you guys be willing? Yeah, I don't wear skinny jeans, so I wouldn't know. But but I'm just saying in general, if you had something that an STD or something, and you met somebody you really like, would you just be honest with them? Is the point?
You have to. It's gonna come out one way or another. I don't understand people who lie. Either you're a fucking demon who just is worried, like, hey, they'll find this out later, or like, why would you not tell somebody that? Either they gonna find out when they get symptoms, or they're gonna find out when you're telling them.
If it's something that's curable and you're taking care of your sexual health like you're supposed to, going to the doctor every year, getting your tests, and you just happen to have something that whatever. If it's curable, do your whatever you got to do, okay. But if it's something that's not, yeah, you for sure got to tell people. But I personally wouldn't. But that's.
I mean, there's people walking around with AIDS right now that's treatable, and they're not telling people. I think that's why they have to change the law. That it's
manageable.
Did we? What we didn't add is didn't that new law pass, Dame, that pedophilia is no longer a crime? Was that true?
No, that's not true. No, that's not
okay.
True.
Let's go into our myth. This is
they
our
coming for it.
Online myth. This online myth of the week.
It wasn't passed. It was something. It wasn't nothing passed to say it was legal. It was nothing passed to say that it won't be a felony. It was something that was passed specifically for like 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds. Like if you 18 and you're dating a 17-year-old, they can't, and because
they won't follow you for life.
Yeah,
it won't register as a sex offender.
Yeah, they won't have to register as a sex offender if he was 18 having dating a 17-year-old. That's what that law was about.
I always those used to be some of the toughest police reports to take because you just knew it was done out of the parent. Yeah, the parents just being malicious, and it used to be very disheartening to know
you gonna ruin
boy was 18. He's 18, his girlfriend is 16, 17, and now you got to file a statutory rape. And it used to be so bad. But one thing what they allowed us to start doing, and I remember it was this one bad deal, and the parents was really adamant about filing a report, is I had found out that they actually had sex before he was 18. So what I did is I asked his parents, do you want to file a report against her as well? And since he was 18, but he could have filed it himself too, because they were all together. And once I told the girl's parents, hey, him and his parents also want to file a report on her. Because apparently they've been having sex for 2 years now. So, and he wasn't 18 at the time, and they backed off. But I was never comfortable.
They're coming for it though. They're coming for it. I can already see it's. You could always tell by the way that things move in Hollywood and on TV where there's a certain agenda that's being pushed. I know you guys have all seen that ad for what is this called, Cuties? These little girls who are twerking. Oh, yeah. They're 7 and 8 years old. Why would you I'm just this is a waterfall of fuckery. I'm not even, first of all, how you got parents who's taking their kids to be on this show? How do you have producers? How do you have Netflix who approved for this to be on it, like just all the way down the line. I don't understand this.
They're pedophiles.
Right.
The executives.
But what I'm saying is they're trying to normalize. This is the state where they normalize things and then come and outright push their agenda. But
Right. They just gradually
is normalizing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was just talking about that specific law that run because people are passing that around saying they made pedophilia illegal. That's actually not really what happened.
They're gonna try it. It's
glad
coming.
I brought that up. Sorry for going over, but I wanted to bring that up because that was something that I was curious about.
Yeah, no, it's all good. You know, we try to look into it and get as much information as we can to give to the people.
Yeah, and I think that also what we were talking about with the information, because you know people take that part of it that is true and not put it with the content, and that takes us like and talking about it like, hey, y'all know that's not what they're doing, because then they'll text somebody's name. Oh, Biden approved.
Biden just approved it. Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Yeah. So we have to, again, I will say at the end of this podcast, man, I will say we have to be very, very careful with the information that we share, the information that we take in, even because if you get all of your information and all of your facts from Facebook, it could be a problem. Okay. And I know a lot of people do. A lot of people get their news. Like I know a lot of people say they get their news from us. So that's why I try to be as accurate as possible when talking about and discussing certain things. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people literally say they'll depend on us to give them the political take of stuff that they don't want to watch on CNN or they don't watch on NBC. So we have to be more careful. All of us on Facebook with social media have to be more careful with the way we move when we share information. I mean, because like we even seen a couple people get caught slipping, not even on purpose, just a satire site post something and you post something from a satire site and you don't know it's a satire site, and then that shit get moved around super fast, and then next thing I know I'm on everybody post like this is not real, this from a satire site, this didn't really happen, it's from a satire site, you know what I mean? So I just want to tell people,
run stuff by y'all. Y'all my fact checkers.
I just tell people just if you can, be careful, and if something looks like it's too outlandish to be true, I mean, honestly, the shit that's scary, the shit that look like it can be true, just check it out and research it for yourself.
And that's the thing about Trump. It could be the most like that shit I sent y'all this morning about Sarah Huckabee. I thought that was great.
Take one for the team. He said it.
Yeah,
I thought the shit was fake. Like I was trying to be funny when I sent it.
No.
So tell the people what he said, Quincy.
So I guess when they was dealing with North Korea, he had told Sarah Huckabee that she needs to go to North Korea and take one for the team. Pretty much smash the president.
They go pimp in office.
Look, you talk about not researching, but check this out. When I shared it as a joke.
Right.
Then when I opened the shit up, I realized it was real.
That's crazy.
Bro,
it's just as an update.
Time you cannot make this bar any lower. Like
I was
it's
God damn. I thought somebody was just fucking around, and then I opened it and started reading. I was like, oh, this shit is for real.
Wow.
Yeah. Just as an update to our NBA topic, the Memphis Grizzlies were denied the ability to use FedEx Forum as a voting location.
Hey, you know what? I think they should threaten to take the league out of Tennessee. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Wait, were they denied, or did the owners just say no?
No, they were denied the ability. So I guess they don't own it. Yeah, they probably don't own it. The owner of the team probably doesn't own the stadium.
They had to get approved from county officials, and they declined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because most of them are doing it. A couple of them I've seen, they're coming along though. So.
Yeah, well, because like for Atlanta, we know who their mayor is. So there's certain people in certain areas, they're gonna have the backing, but it's gonna be interesting to see the guys in the Florida team. You know, I'm trying to think. The Cavaliers. Yeah, that's another swing state. Ohio. Those swing states.
Michigan, the Pistons.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, quick thing I thought about. Just a thought. One thing we need to start doing when we vote locally, like these local elections, is that we have a lot of Democrat officials, city council, mayors with racist ass police departments.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where we need to start pushing our agenda about our vote, because I don't want to put no city out there on blast right now, because
blast them. No. I know we can't. I know we can't.
Well, because you know we dealing with them behind some closed doors, but you can't have that many Democratic officials, Democratic president. I mean, not president, mayor, and you have one of the most racist fucking police departments in LA County.
But they do.
But they all. Oh yeah. I know they racist. Like if you talk to them, they tell you they know they racist. They got their own stories. But it's like, what the fuck are you doing about it?
Yeah.
And we need to start holding them a lot more accountable. These local officials,
agreed,
in our area with these racist ass police departments, because that's who. I mean, other than the sheriffs, that's who elect these chiefs of police.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mayor, the city council, and city managers and shit. So
yeah, Pandora, the only one that's not racist is the ones in like Akon's village that he's building.
like think about Minnesota. Minnesota is very liberal from the top to the bottom. There's no way that police department should have been that out of control.
Yep.
Camden, New Jersey is about the only one.
No way.
Oh hell no! I got arrested in Camden, New Jersey.
How long ago?
No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Camden. Where was that?
I was gonna say Camden's one of the ones where they literally, it wasn't just defunding. They broke it down, fired everybody, and just started over.
Boston?
No. That was
Sheila, right? It was in New Jersey.
Oh well, see that was before then. Yeah, we was in Camden. That was before. New Jersey was before.
It was in New Jersey.
But that's the only ones that aren't racist at this moment. Sheila, are the ones that Obama had them go in and dismantle the whole department and start from scratch. Like, so that's probably like 5. And then Trump got in and reversed all that shit.
And then put racist judges in place so that when they do crooked stuff, then you can get the legal system to uphold it.
Yeah, but
persecute them to the full extent of the law.
But we speaking, to a lot of city officials who are supposed to be liberal and Democrat and all that, and they want our vote. And the moment you tell them about all the stuff that's happening to their police department, they are completely oblivious. And oh my gosh, I didn't know it was that bad.
Really?
Come on,
bro. Really?
Don't be trying to all shut your way out of that bullshit. I don't know if y'all saw.
The thing that I feel hopeful about that is a big difference now is that most of us, when we were growing up, it was like politics was never made to be something that was important that we should be really involved in. You had a small group. Yeah. Now this is something that we have our eyes on, and we're not going to, even if Kamala and Biden do, win, we're not just, we know that we're not in a position to sit down and say, oh yeah, they won. No, it's like, okay, you won.
We got to press that issue. Yeah, we got to press that issue.
Right.
Even like we got to press that issue no matter who's in office.
2 years.
Yeah, and we got to press that issue even more if it's Kamala and Biden. Like, you know what I mean? Like we got to press, but like Quincy said too, we got to press the issue more on local levels. Like, I know we have been talking about that.
Important. Those are way more important. They affect us way more than the president.
I know we had started talking about going to city council meetings right before COVID hit. We were all going to start going to sitting in on city council meetings. But I don't know if they're going to start doing them on Zoom or whatever. But whatever they are, we do need to get involved.
Sometimes we told them you can go in through Eventbrite.
Yeah, we need to find out, and we need to get involved in that and make sure we involved, because those are the things that affect us and our kids and our families and around us on a daily level more than the presidency every 4 years. Absolutely. And these elections come up like every 2 years.
And check this out. I asked somebody because they was complaining about the sheriff. I said, did you vote? I said, vote for what? I said, did you vote for the sheriff 2018? Dude didn't even know that was something you could vote for.
Wow.
So
a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Check this out. So I found out that the sheriff that's already in office feel like they don't even need to campaign because they normally just get reelected. That's the type of shit.
Sometimes it's only one choice. Sometimes it's only one of them that we can choose from.
But you know what though? When you go out and we go to these community meetings and things like that.
Yep.
And that sheriff that you see that's out there that's doing the work, that's who we need to push to get behind, because the person just don't have to be a part of the sheriff's department. Shit, I could run for sheriff. Like so you know, we just really, that's something we need to be more active in, because for somebody to just feel like they don't have to campaign as a top law enforcement official, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
especially with the shit that's been going on. We definitely need to start putting feet to the fire, meeting people around police stations, asking them, what lieutenant do you like? Who's the commanders? Things like that. So we can get behind these type of, you know, and things that we can control regarding like as electing of sheriffs. Now, police department is different because the city council, mayor, and city manager, choose them. But we need to hold them accountable for their decisions as well with this shit. Because there's no way racism could run this rapid, and you're supposed to be the liberal party for black folks stuff, and you got motherfuckers telling recruits that before I train you, you have to prove to me you're not black no more.
Yeah.
And that's a true story. So that's the type of shit we dealing with, and folks need to be held accountable for that. So, and I'm just talking about more on a local level. We need that's where we need to have that Ice Cube energy at.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I want to end it, tell everybody, like Quincy said, y'all, let's get involved more on a local level, and let's get involved in all pieces and parts of politics, because if that is going to be the mode in which we want to create change, that's the mode in which we need to work. If the mode is going to be the other way, like I always say, money and violence, then that's going to be the mode that we have to do. But if you want to take the political route, then that means you need to know what's going on and get involved and get an understanding of what's going on, and just learn, y'all. Try to learn as much as you can. Because like Quincy said, there's so much information out there that's readily available. A lot of people did know that you could actually vote for the sheriff, and the fact that the sheriff thinks shit is so sweet that they don't even have to campaign because they know they're just gonna get it again automatically is a problem, because that means if they think it's so sweet that they don't have to campaign, that means they know there's no accountability for them. That means they know there's no mechanism of accountability and there's no one holding them accountable. So yes, and that's not just here. Everybody watching, because I know we got some people in Texas watching, we got some people in Philly watching, everywhere, wherever you are, get you a little coalition together and just start making noise, because all it takes is a few people to make some noise when it comes to that and wake some people up on some stuff, man. I want to thank everybody who joined us for the show today.
Real quick before we leave, since we were just talking about voting, because I want to pound this in people's heads. I know everybody's all tripping out over the mail-in voting and the post office, and Trump is just trying to just ban all that, whatever. Remember, you guys, if you have to do, you can bring your ballots to your polling place. You don't have to wait in line. You could bring your ballots. You could bring it to the registrars. Ours is in Norwalk, so you don't have to. If you don't feel like you're not comfortable waiting, if you feel like you're not comfortable putting it in the mailbox, because there's no more now, they're locking them up. There's other options, so let's not panic on that. So I just want to keep, drilling that in people's heads too.
Yeah, let me go to this comment. Presented stats from a government census during the misinformation segment. Panel was like, nah, I don't want to address that at all. Nonsense. Black people are poor. Moved on to government stats about herpes. Well, one, you talking apples to fucking bowling balls. And then two, again, we asked you that 40% of black people are middle class. Can you tell us why a majority of black people only have 17,000 of median income? And I want you to go look up also the amount of black people that are actually above the poverty line, because that will also tell you that 40% of black people are not middle class. And I want you to tell me what middle class is, because we can have a discussion, Jamal. So don't act like nobody want to have a discussion, because we asked you. I asked you to show me.
I think that maybe he might be getting confused about an overall population of black people, just in reference to black people and not in reference to society as a whole and where we fit as far as middle class goes. That's the only thing I can think of.
He is.
Articles.
You're right, Sheila.
Like, so
what you say, Chan? You breaking up?
Okay, never mind.
Chan Riley.
Yeah, we can't hear what you're saying, Chan.
Can you guys hear? Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, to get the actual like stats, the article, because we go off that. We don't just go off information in like the comments. So where's that?
He said it was from the He said it was from the 2017 census, but I've been over here on my phone trying to look up.
Yeah, post a screenshot or something, bro. Like that.
Yeah, I've been over here trying to look up because what I see, like I said, we barely have enough money as Black people to be 40% of middle class. Like,
right. You have a lot of people who are living middle class lives that's in debt up to their damn eyeballs. They pour it in some of the broke people. Like they have more money that they owe than what they actually have coming in. And that kind of disqualifies you too. Even if you look like it, you might have a Mercedes and be broke as hell. Like it's, I don't know.
Least. Old.
Right.
Well, like I said, even more than that, because Ron did, because he's trying to act like somebody didn't address his point, which we did. And Pandora said, "Isn't the census every 10 years?" I don't know. I can't speak on that because I'm not.
It is every 10 years.
2023, they say it's gonna be.
It is.
Yeah, that's a good point. A 2017 census. Yeah, that is a very good point because we're about to do it for 2020. The last one was 2010.
It will be 2010 or 2020. It's on the tens.
Yeah. Like I said,
was that again that you were looking at?
Well, like I said, for me, it's just I need shit to add up, right? Like I need you to show me how 40% of Black people can be living middle class right now in 2020 when we don't have a median income of, we don't even have the assets to be fucking middle class right now at this point. So that's why
I found it. I actually found it. So the median wealth for middle class white family is $171,000, and that was
I'm reading the same thing, right?
Yeah. So if he's saying, okay, the median class for Black people, okay, every Black people got $17,000. I agree with you. 40% of us, 40% of us got $17,000 worth of liquid assets. I agree.
Oh, see, so there you go. Not 40% of the middle class entirety. 40% of Black people middle class. 50%.
I know what he meant then. Yeah, I know what he meant.
Okay, so then I was talking about in relation to the middle class, to the real middle class, not $17,000 middle class. So yeah,
right.
Shit, man, I think I'm middle class, and I feel broke as shit. So
apparently I'm middle class.
I'm middle class and I'm broke as fuck. So
we balling. Shit.
I thought he was talking about 40% of middle class in America.
Rich bitch.
Yeah, I want that 170,000 middle class.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. That's what I was. I'm like, I know 40% of Black people are making 173,000.
Yeah. So Quincy, you want that new Honda Accord instead of that new Maserati? Yeah.
Like, nigga, I'm going to get a Tesla tomorrow, bitch.
Man,
you getting a Tesla?
It's a little model car. It's a little model car. You got a CVS. You won't get a Tesla.
If you really out here saying 17,000 is middle class, bro, I think
Yeah.
Hold on. He said, wait. The number is universal. The Black middle class isn't. No, it's not. We just showed you that it's not. Like the middle class is 173,000. 40% of Black people are not making 173,000, dude.
Hell no.
Before he comes back on you, Dame, it's 171, Dame, because he's gonna come back. 171. Yeah, 171. You said 173. You're wrong.
Okay, well, 171,000. I want you to, Jamal, I want you to show me, since it's universal, show me where 40% of Black people are making 171,000. Please show me that information, since you want to try to act like people wanting, I don't be running from the smoke, nigga. You talking to the wrong person. You on the wrong show for that bullshit. So show me where 40% of Black people are making 171,000, since that's your argument that Black people, 45% of Black people are middle class. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait in the comments too. I'm gonna look because I need to see this.
We're just gonna sit here with our hands under our chin like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Chan, don't you start. We did the DM another time. This was his fault. He started this comment at the end, like we was trying to trying to ignore his little.
Yeah. We can't make nobody.
How long is the show supposed to be?
But his comment was
how long is the show supposed to be?
Like almost 2 hours. We got 10 minutes. We actually got 10 minutes.
Yeah, we under.
But he stick to what? Okay.
No, go ahead, Chan.
He's comparing us to ourselves when you can't compare us to ourselves in a country that's a majority of white people right now. And it's going to change by 2050. But as of right now, they are the standard. So if the majority of them, their median income is 171,000 and ours 17, that we shouldn't even be talking about this is my point. When we got $17,000, like this is a wasted conversation.
Yeah,
you know,
go look how the black folks that's living in the median of black middle class in California and New York making the folks that making 17 to 20,000 compared to the people that's making that 100,000.
Yeah, he just sent me something that said 40% of black people are making 40% of black people are making 35 to 100K. Yeah, no.
35. You don't do 35 to 100. It's 35.
Yeah, because how many people? Because what's the percent of people making? What's the percent of black people making 35? That nigga hit me with them Trump numbers, boy. He hit me with them Trump numbers.
You don't compare statistics like that. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't make comparisons like that. But we get you, brother. We still love you, man. You know, we don't. You know, we don't hold that against you.
How many times did you sleep with that woman? You cheated on me. I don't know, babe. Anywhere between 3 and 73 times.
And 20, yeah, exactly. So it's somewhere close. You just pick a number.
She said most of the so-called black middle class are in service careers that don't even make 171,000. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like the numbers are skewed. Because if you say 40% of people, 40% of black people fall between 35,000 and 300. What is it? And 300,000. Like, let me make sure. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that graph at the 35 level.
Yeah, 35 and 100. Yeah,
it goes down drastically.
Yeah, this nigga, he done Fox News the shit out of us with this little graph.
You can't be the most underpaid. Our black women are the most educated, but also the underpaid.
At least spell my name right, ludicrous.
Even it says upper middle class black people is 12%, but that's upper middle class with black people is 100,000 to 200,000.
So that's the white people regular middle class.
Yeah,
right. Which is why we are 1.7 to 2.6% of the nation's total wealth. Like right. I don't think people understand those numbers like enough. Like 1 to 2% of the nation's wealth. That we're 13% of the population. Like we should at least have 13%. Right, so we should at least have 13% of the wealth.
Right. So if we 13% of the population got 1% of what, there's no way 40% of us are actually middle class. Like, just come on, Fox Lude.
Well, he talking about credit. He had credit cards.
So over this entire.
He had credit cards, layaway. He had everything y'all got on layaway. Shit y'all got from service merchandise. That shit you got from service merchandise don't count.
Yeah,
he counting all that shit. He's like, no. I was up there at Kmart. They let you put everything on layaway. Shit, that counts. Fanco. He was up at Fanco buying jewelry. Shit, don't trip. I used to work at Fanco in the jewelry department. So I had to throw that in there.
Oh man, wasn't that service merchandise in Ladera?
Yep,
exactly. Right where that
my mom tear that joint up.
You know what? Hey, I got my remote control Voltron from there.
Exactly. What's the other one? There's still one that exists that would start with an F.
After like the first.
No. God, what is that one? Start with a far. Start with an F? They still send us catalogs. We don't buy shit from them, but they try to get you to sign up so you can make payments. This is just like asking on TV. No. Look, we I don't know. I used to work. And let me just tell y'all, the employees put Fedco out of business.
While y'all was stealing all that shit?
Y'all who? Were you on national TV, man? Y'all, we saying we don't speak French. We don't speak French. We
Hey, Ron, you work at Fedco?
Hell yeah, right out of high school, dude. Hey. Look.
Isaac, there go
Finger Hut. Yeah, Finger Hut. Exactly, Finger Hut.
My mama still tear Finger Hut up. Steal my mama's spot.
That is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny though, because I'm glad he did that though, because that shows you how people will take certain numbers to try to make it like black people in this country are actually doing better than they are, and how the shit is gonna be skewed when you watch not only Fox News, but when you also watch the debates, when you watch the talking points. Because I'm telling you, I've watched people use certain talking points, and I'm like, that shit don't add up. So of course, statistically, you can make something look like something that ain't no way in hell 40% of black people are middle class.
I'm gonna post my stats in the group. I have an official Senate document, so I'm posting that in the group so he can compare his to mine.
Post it on my page. Post it on my page. Yeah, post it on my page, Ron. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if y'all saw, but there's a video that's been going around. Sean King actually just posted it of a young man who was killed by the cops named Daniel Prude. That's actually my cousin from Chicago. He was killed by the police in New York. He was in New York visiting his brother, and he was killed. My cousin from Chicago hit me up and was telling me like, "Yo, be on the lookout. It's coming. It's about to go national. Like the story about Daniel Prude is about to go national. And it has now. Like a lot of people been sharing and sending it to me. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Like that's actually my cousin."
I apologize. I started laughing when you said Sean King, just because.
Because I already knew.
Niggas don't like the fifth cancellation. I'm like, what? Yeah. But I'm sorry to hear about your cousin, though.
Nigga, you already dug in the comments. Shut up, guy. Sorry, but yeah, it's crazy because we see this and we see this stuff all the time. And this was my East Coast family, my Chicago family. I don't see them much, so it's not like I knew him well or nothing like that. But still, it's just when it hit home like that and his family, and it's crazy because the cousin who told me about it, she was my cousin who actually had been going through like coronavirus herself in Chicago. Like, so just that piece of the family been going through a lot of craziness. So just keep my Chicago family in y'all prayers, y'all. Nikisha Moore, to be exact, my cousin. Shout out to Nikisha for keeping me abreast, because that's my connection to Chicago. Like, me and her talk all the time, and she keeps me connected to my family out there. So she was the one telling me, like, I'm just letting you know, this Daniel Prude thing is about to hit the national airways, and it did. It hit today. So, hey man, let's do what we got to do to change this shit. That's enough. Enough is enough.
Can I just end with this, Dane?
Yeah,
I got one sentence for y'all. The median black net wealth is less than 1 year's something. That's a word, and I'm good with words. I don't know what the hell that is. At the federal poverty level, so we're less than our median wealth is less than the national poverty level. That's it.
That's what I say. So let's post this on my page, Ron, and let's continue this. Yeah, so Jamal, let's dig in on my page. Let's continue this conversation on my page in the comments. And if we have to do a Facebook room so I could just have Ron versus Lude, I would like to see that.
I got my comics book with me, so yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I would like to see that if we had to go live on my page real quick, just the two of y'all, because I think, like I said, it's important to even to make sure the information. He said wealth, that's not income. So you making a distinction between wealth and income.
Yeah, we'll talk about it all day.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on my page. All right, y'all. Uncle Radio, I want to thank all my panelists per usual. Mars, Quincy Q the Rebel, Ron and I'm Black Y'all by any means necessary, Jackie Chandra, Sheila, and everybody who's been in the comments rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. We always appreciate y'all input. We even appreciate the arguments from Lude. I love it. I love all of it, man. For real. Seriously, though. I love all of it. So we'll see y'all next week, and hopefully nothing too crazy happen between now and next Wednesday. Every time I say that, some wild shit happen between now and next Wednesday.
Man,
stop saying that shit. Yeah,
right when we get off the damn call.
Yeah. All right.
Every week of 2020 is like, hold my beer.
Yeah. All right. Until next time. Later.
Peace.